Good morning, this is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and I'm here without a plan. A very, very messy desk. My glasses are dirty, my dog is in here, and I don't know, it's just one of those craft with me kind of days. So come on along and craft with me. So here's what I've been doing. I'm still going through piles and piles of paper, and I made this cute little tag. It's a Tim Holtz paper, and inside of it is a little tiny piece of paper that unfolds that you can write on. Isn't that cool? I love little tiny things. They're so fun. And it just slips back in here and it folds over. It still needs to be decorated up a little bit, but I like it. It's very cool. And I've been making envelopes. So here's an envelope. It's, again, Tim Holtz paper. And it just maybe slides in here to close. And here's another one, and it just slides under the ticket to close. I haven't inked that one yet. Just a tag that's a different shape. Another envelope. Now this one I cut too short, so I ended up making this extra little piece, and of course I did it upside down, and attaching it here, and it worked out great. And I loved how I folded this piece over. Instead of cutting it off here even, I've just folded it over. It actually made a really neat shape down here, but then I decided to put this little band on it to close up the envelope. Here's an envelope that has no closure, so that's something we need to fix. And then here we have another one with a closure. And it's another Tim Holtz paper. These can be glued on your book page, if this was your book page, and glued on 3 sides, and you would have a nice little tuck up here for another envelope or a piece of ephemera. I like that. That's cool. Or they could be maybe glued these 3 sides, and a smaller tag than this could go in there. Hey, you leave those alone. So that's a pretty cool idea too. Now it could go this way had I have printed it correctly. Or not printed it, had I not made it upside down. But this way the envelope is a working envelope and it has possibilities. So that's what I've been doing with that. And then I started running into all these little tiny Tim Holtz pieces that I couldn't bear to throw away. Oh! So I started cutting them into little tag shapes. Let me bring you down here a little closer. Let's see, where can we go? Right here. So I started making all these little tiny tag shapes. Hang on, I'm going to pull you up closer. There we go. There's one. And I don't know, we'll make a little dangle out of these or something. Don't really know yet. What you got? Oh, a ball. A tennis ball. Here's another one. And here's a longer one. You can't really see it. So it's just kind of a unique thing to do. And they could dangle on these and hang off the side of a page. Let's see what that looks like. They don't have their little things on them yet. Little eyelets. But it just, you know, it's kind of like, you know how keys would be all hanging on a piece of wire or something. This one actually needs to go on this end. And there we go. We have a nice little thing to clip on the side of our page. Whoops, not that way, it won't. Let's go this way. And it just hangs off the side of your page. And you have all these neat little tags hanging there. Kind of a unique idea. So, I thought maybe we would play with this some more today and see what we can come up with. Here's another little tiny tag. Well, that was just a little tiny scrap of paper. And there we go, we have another tag. So that's pretty cool. Let's just put it on there for now. And there we go, we have another one. Kind of a neat idea. There's a ticket. And this is another one that would make some great little tags. And what could we do with that? Could we fold it? And fold it again? Oh, what if we folded it? Fan fold. Like this. And then folded this last little piece like this. And what if we punched a hole in it like this and got a bulb pin. Okay, I gotta find one. Oh, bulb pins. Not a bulb pin in there. I need to mark my boxes because they're not marked. No bulb pins in that one. Wonder what Angela does with her bulb pins. Oh, she probably puts them over here. Now normally with my bulb pins I would glue them here so that they don't poke anybody that gets this, you know. But what if we left it open and then we had a very unique and interesting place to write some tiny words, or I don't know, I just think tiny words would be really cool on that. And to expand on that idea, what if we were to add a couple of little charms. Maybe a word that says play. And what if we added a seahorse? We'll put it on this direction. We'll add our book like this, and then we'll add our word play. Now that is playful. Look at that. We have a writing place and a seahorse, and these could hang off of a book. Let's make a hanger for it. Let's see if there's enough here. We could make this a little dangle here. Whoops, excuse me. I'm making a mess here. Oh no, I'm not making a mess. It is a mess. Right off the edge. There we go. And then this would hang on the edge of your paper, of your this would get glued right on here for your just a little dangle on the edge of your book. So, oh gosh, let me take that out a little bit. I'm sorry. So, you probably didn't see any of that. So what I've done is put on a seahorse on the bulb pin. I put on our long tag that you can take off and open up and write on. And then I've put on the word play. I used my whale tail punch and made this. It'll hang off the edge of the page. And look at that. Now you have some fun little things to play with. And I like that it says play, and you look back here and there's a seahorse. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. So now I want to make another one of those. So let's find a piece of paper that might work. This might work. With this definitely would work, but I don't want to cut that piece off there. But I have this big long piece of pink paper. Let's see what we can do with it. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to send you back out here so you can see what I'm up to today. And I'm just playing, really. It's just kind of a play day. And let's see, let me find my desk is a mess. Do you want to see it? Okay, here we go. That's me. Hi, this is me. You can't see it all, but it's all just like this everywhere. And I'm going to set my timer. And we're just going to play. So I brought this piece of pink paper over. And I'm just going to cut this at, I don't know. Do you want me to do like 1 inch? Would that be too wide? Ooh, look at that. And this is 12 inches long. So if we first fold this piece right there, and then let's go back and fold it just anywhere, it doesn't really matter. I watched the coolest show. My husband recorded it for me last night, and you can find this show on pbs.org, I believe. It is called The Bookmaker. Bookmakers, maybe? But it was so cool to watch. And it was about people that write books, mostly. But it was also about people that make books and write books and different things like that. It's very, very cool. Now, I feel like something else needs to happen to this. So, what could happen? What could happen? You know, I'm not going to cut that off. I'm just going to find a little piece of lace. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to tip my glue upside down. Let's see which one comes down faster, the small bottle or the big bottle. Probably going to be the small bottle. And it doesn't want to come down. Let's shake it. Uh-oh, she got something? Oh gosh, the dog got something. No telling.
Come here. Come here.
Uh-oh, she's in big trouble.
Here. No.
Just a minute, let me go see what happened. Okay, I'm back. She got my very old little book that I like to use. I can still use it, but it's the Pronounce Pocket Dictionary Illustrated. Anyway, that was what she got. I don't know. I guess I just have to leave my door closed, and I hate to close myself in. I like the freedom of having my door open, but puppy dog's just not going to allow it to happen. Okay, so now we have this, and we have a little dangle on the bottom. And now we need to hole punch it. And this one is wider. And if we want to put it on a bulb pin to hang off the edge of a book, we're going to have to hole punch it a little closer to the side so that it will dangle and and not get caught up in your book. So, let's grab another bulb pin. And let's see. Let's go with just that one. Doesn't matter. So we need a bulb pin, and we need something a little fancier maybe. It is pink. We have these. I don't know if this will work. Perhaps you're making a shabby chic, or whatever you want to call it. That won't go in there. Because it doesn't stick out far enough. But what if we just did it like this, with a little dangle there? Let's put it like this. Add our little dangle. And then if we make our whale tail punch, oh, clear over there. Let's use this one. So we make our whale tail punch, or any other one that will work. You can, just cut out your own of any shape and size that you want. Put our little doodad there. And again, then we have this little dangle that can hang from the edge of a page. And it's cute and fun because now you have this little dangle you can write on, and it also hangs on the edge of your book. It has a beautiful little collector type button on it. Very cute. And if you wanted to hang another one on this side, that would be great too. So I'm going to set that over there. Now, I kind of like making those. So I'm going to make another one. I'm going to cut this one down this line of numbers. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe just a little bit of that line of numbers. Now we have a piece that can be written on back and front. So let's fold this over a bit. And we're going to make it about this long, which is 2 inches. 2 inches from here to there. So that's folded over, what, a 1/2 inch. And then we fold it back and forth. And this one is a little bit long coming that way. But what if we folded it back down and put a scallop punch in it like this? I don't know if this will work. Just bear with me. That's just inserting it, the whole thing in directly into the scallop punch of your memory keepers. then you have this extra little piece here that just kind of pulls down. Or we could glue that, and then it will just be like a pull tab. I kind of like that idea better. Just making a little pull tab. And the other thing you could do right here is put some little pieces of paper There's another one. And we attach these right in here. So we will have to put a little piece of glue there. And I will attach these inside of here. Just like this. On camera. I know this is little tiny stuff today, isn't it? What if we attach those right there? And then one up here and put some more glue. And glued it over the front. And then I think I'll cut these off the same length, maybe a little bit longer. Let's cut this one a little shorter. And then this one at the bottom will be right at the end. Let's see, I have to cut them off just a little bit differently. Now we have just some different lengths of paper. Oh, our pull tab we better put down on the back here. Now, I think this one, well, they all need some ink. Let's just add some ink to it. So it looks really vintage. Okay, let's bring this one forward and ink it, just so we get that nice inky line there. Okay, so now we have this. What else does it need? Let me grab some little Tim Holtz things. If we don't want to put charms on it, maybe we just want to put some little tiny things like maybe we want to say this side up, or maybe just this side. What if we did that? Don't know. Let's find out. And the Global glue, always fun. Now if you wanted, you could fold this around, or you could just cut it. You could just cut it off. Might want to save this piece because now it says up. And cut this one off. It says this side. Oh, well, we better pay attention to that. And maybe we want a little handle with care. Now I probably would not put an eyelet in this one, so I'm just going to use a little hole punch on it in this piece. And maybe we'd want one of these little Paris tickets. And it's tiny, so let's put a tiny hole in it too. And here's another little Tim Holtz ephemera. And we would maybe put a little hole punch in it. And what else do we have? Oh, we have one of these. Just a little tab thingy. This is like, you know, if we didn't have any charms we wanted to hang on it, or perhaps we want to keep our book, our journals, a little lighter, on the lighter side. And then on this one I would punch the larger hole. Remember to come off to the side a little bit because you want it to be able to hang off your book, and it depends on which side of the book you're going to clip it on. And let's find a bulb pin. Oh, move them over here. I put them down someplace different every time. I have a little gunmetal color this time. So say we did not have a bunch of charms that we wanted to use. Now this is going to be on the back. And then we'll put this on. And then let's put on our little extras. And our handle with care. Let's make another well-tail punch. I think maybe, oh, I'm going to use this one. This is with that other paper, but it matches the handle with care so nicely. And we would fold that over. Now there. Can't see where you're placing it if the stuff's all in the way. Put another little hole punch in there. And And run that in. And here we go. And on the edge of our page it would go. Look at that. Just a nice little extra spot with a surprise writing area. Look at that. Isn't that cute? How adorable is that? And in just a matter of a few short minutes, we have come up with several great ideas to add quick embellishments to the side of our journal. And it's just, you know, it's just fun to try and come up with some different ideas and use up some of this little paper you have. So I was telling you about this show I watched on PBS, and it was The Bookmakers. And I'll tell you, they came up there. Oh, it was wonderful. I so enjoyed it. I'm going to cut this off, and then this little piece I'm going to turn into a piece of ephemera. So right about there. And then I'm going to cut that little piece off. And there we go. So now we have another little tag that we can put on something, or we can put it into our little ephemera box, or, you know, book, or whatever, wherever we collect these kinds of doodads. You can round the corners, and I have just been rounding them mostly with this scallop punch, but you can put them in the side, and it kind of makes them wonky. So we have just a little wonky tag there. And what else can we do? So we have this one. It looks to me to be a nice large tag. Let's see how long it is. Oh, it's 6.5 inches. That would probably be too long for our books, although it might not be. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it off down to 5¼ inches. And I'm going to use my scallop punch and just make an interesting tag out of it. Having a tag does not mean that we always make it the same shape. We can make it any shape we want. Use our tools and see what you can come up with, because there's a bazillion possibilities. Look at that. Very cool. And it's different shape, so it really makes it nice. And then we have this one that kind of matches it. But I'm going to put the tab hole, let's see, right about here, I think. I don't want to get off the edge. Now this one I probably would put an eyelet in, but this kind of gives us a nice little tag here to hang on here. We can hang it either direction, depending on which way we'd want it to go. So I'm going to put those two together. I don't know what I did with all my... Well, I'm not going to worry about it, I guess. I probably put this one with them because they all kind of match. So I'm just going to clip those three together. And let's see. My glue is being like a volcano today, so I'm going to have to put my pin back in it. But I'm still going to tip it on its side to keep the glue down at the end where I can work with it better. Okay, so now we have this piece. Oh, it got torn. I had to change the blade on my machine. It was very easy to do. They just plop in and plop out. Thank goodness. But because it was tearing all my paper up, I'm going to cut that little piece off. Now we could use that on something. I have no idea what. It could be teeny tiny tags if you wanted to save it. Or it could completely be garbage. You could roll it up into a flower. Don't ask me how. But something, you could do something with it if you wanted. But I'm not going to. I'm going to trash it. Because it's a little too small to play with. But now we have this one. Let's see. It could make a very nice, it would make a great tag, wouldn't it? Let's see. Would make a nice little envelope. It would also make a nice little library pocket if we folded it this way. Now, I'm talking little library pocket, right? So we probably want to cut it off right up here somewhere. There we go. And we would probably want to round our corners. And I've been using the scallops, so I'm just going to use it again. There we go. Now if we just glue these sides, better ink it first. Oh, I think maybe we would have to put a little thumb hole in there. There we go. That's better. Definitely. So honestly, I'm just hadn't thought of anything to do today, and I've been just playing with all this ephemera. Or, sorry, I've been playing with all these scraps, and these are just quick ideas that you can do with your scraps that will help clean out your scrap drawer a little bit, maybe. I don't know. It could be like me, and it could be the unending scrap drawer. I'm sure we all have them, though. I'm just going to run a little glue up the sides. And my thing is off a little bit, so I'm going to just trim it nicely. Right on that side. And just a tiny bit on that side too. Whoops. Yeah, I probably opened that one back up. I ended up trimming it way too far. Just squeeze a little bit of glue back in there. And of course that side did not cut properly. Okay. So even though that is a very tiny pocket, we can still get some tiny tags in there. We better make a tiny tag for it. It's still very crooked. I don't like that. Let me put it down this other side of the machine. Okay. That opens it back up again. It's getting smaller as we speak. Yeah, see how it did to my corner? What's happened? What has happened? There we go. Just fixed that, didn't we? There we go. Well, that one needs to be done now too. There we go. We got it. It's one of those situations where you just keep trimming on it until there's nothing left. So we need something to put in there. And this extra little piece is just going to be probably way too short. But you could, you know, no, it's going to be way too short. So, oh, here's another piece of it that I need to trim the edge on. Let's see. So let's trim off that battered edge. And it's still got a little battering in it, but I think that'll be okay. I did cut it off right about there. And I'm going to put this in here. Before I do, I'm going to round these ends off. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch because I like that curve that it's going to give it. I'm going to make sure this is fitting. And there we go. So it's going to get cut off right about the 33. We said. About there. There we go. And this time I want to use the scallop bunch because that's what I have on the top of the pocket. There we go. And we have a little tag to go in our little pocket. Now, I thought I had that cut so it would fit all the way in there. I did. Well, it's just about, I was going to make it just a little smaller, but that's okay. No, I'm going to make it just a little smaller. Just stick it back in the scallop maker. Trim it up a little bit to make the edges a little bit better. There, now it's very crooked. I don't like that at all. So, I'm going to cut it right there. Right there. going to stick this back in. I apparently didn't have it in properly. That's just cutting crooked now. I must have pushed it in too hard. But now it's too short. So, to fix that tag, I would go ahead and push it back through there. And this time I would take the 1/2" punch. Because obviously I'm getting nowhere with the other one right now. And I would just make it into a roundy tag. Perhaps it will fit in there a little bit. Not very well, but we'll put it over there. All right, hon. Bye. So there we go. Let's go ahead and round this one off and turn it into something. How about just a little piece of ephemera just like that with all the nice writing on it? That works out pretty good. Okay, making our tag pocket. I'm going to make that the top. $3.95 is the bottom. There we go. This tag is a little roughed up, but that's okay. Now, trying the scallop punch one more time. Ah, I see. Part of the problem is that the punch does fill up, and to empty this punch, you just open up one side, and you can see it gets full. I'll show you. It's crammed full. So you kind of have to work around it a little bit. Let's see how much is in there. It is still crammed full. Oh, and I'll tell you what. I wanted to tell you about this because I think it's important. I had to clean this out because it just was not working right. I spent a good half an hour with it trying to get it all cleaned out. Finally I thought, well, the handles must have the handles must be full of paper bits. And I thought, well, that would be weird, but I'll check it. So I did, and yes, they were full of paper bits. You can see how much you can get in these. It's still, you can hear it when it still has something trapped in it. There's one. You just kind of have to keep working with it until you start getting them all out of there. But if it's not punching properly, that's why. Anyway, I finally pulled these rubber handles off. And I'm going to do this because I'm going to show you. The handles were full. They're not just a little piece of paper in this one. Oh, close this up when you're doing this so you don't break it. It wasn't easy to pull these off. Okay. You can see on here, oh, it was my other hole punch that I was using. This one. So, right here, you see this little inspection label down here? See it? Okay, now, let's see if I can show you this. This thing has a little rubber ball that roller that runs down to here. On my other punch, this tag, inspection tag, was right up here. And every time the wheel went down, the inspection tag got the wheel more and more goopy, and eventually the paper was rolling around it, and it was just a icky, gluey mess. So if for some reason your punch is not working right, that is something to take a look for, is to see if your inspection tag is gumming up around your roller. Because it made it for this one so I could hardly use it. But now it's wonderful. So, and then you just put these back on, and they're not easy. You just keep pushing and pushing until you get them up as far as you need them. So, I suppose you could put a little bit of Vaseline on there, and that would make them go on easier, but it's also going to make them slip off, and you don't really want that. So you just keep pushing until you get them back on. But they do need to be cleaned out every now and then, and that's why my flashlight was here, was because I was shining it down in there to see how much stuff I had left in there. And you can't see it from all sides, but if you keep looking, you're like, oh, yeah, there's one over there. And just get it cleaned out once in a while, and it will work a lot better for you. So you can see how much junk was in it. And no wonder it wasn't working right. And now it works a lot better. There we go. So let's put that one in there. And there we go. Looking good. Okay, so now we've got a giant mess. I can't think of a thing to use all this for. I'm sure I could if I looked at it long enough. I'd say, oh, confetti. But I don't think I need all that confetti. If I had a little tiny jar to put it in, it might look neat to stuff the jar full of those, just for fun. And this one, well, there's not a lot we can do with it. You know, if we put it in here and punch it, it might be, it's okay. It's not too short. So there we go. We have another tag. And okay, so here's another one of these Tim Holtz tags, and I really love this Tim Holtz paper. We could cut it like a little house shape and put a little tiny hole in it. There we go. So now we have just a little house tab. And what to do with these? Well, these are the ones that I just clipped and started making tiny tags out of. Whoops. And I don't know if that'll work. We're going to try it. A little 1/4 inch. And there we go. Put a little tiny hole punch in it. Looks like a little dog tag. So there we go. And what else do we have? Oh, I was going to show you how I made the envelopes. Okay, so all I did on the envelopes was I found the piece that I wanted to bring to the back. And I folded it up. I'm folding this one up, oh, what? 2 and almost 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it, say right about here above this. Maybe a little higher. Going to fold it over like that. And then I'm going to cut it, I don't know, right about that 87, I guess. 87, where are you? Right about the 87. I don't know if that's straight. Okay, then what I did was on this one we're going to put a little circular thumb thing in it. But what I did was I folded this over a little bit, top to bottom. And then I went to the other side and did the same thing. Sorry, I know that's noisy. Then, let's see. That's the top. This is the bottom. Okay, so what I did was I cut to the left of the line, just slightly, depending on what side you're on. And then I trim that like that. Then on this piece, you can kind of round it if you want. And cut to that side. It's kind of crooked. Just depends on which direction you cut. There we go. This one I did at an angle. It's not perfect. It does not have to be perfect. Now, if you want, you can cut these extra pieces off or you can leave them there. I'm going to leave mine, but I am going to make a little line on it to tell me where to stop my glue. And I'm going to find my glue that I threw over here. I'm going to run glue I let it get dry. I'm going to run some glue right here on the inside up to that line and on the outside here. And before I fold that over, I'm going to make my little tab hole. Oh. Yeah, this piece. I'm going to fold that side up. Then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. Just a very quick way to fold and make an envelope. Now on this piece, you can fold it together like this or like this. And you can cut those off at an angle. Not that way, this way. But I'm just going to... What happens if I put a scallop punch in it? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, cool. Look at that. We come up with something very unusual. Let's do that on both sides. And there we go. We have a cute little closure on it that way. So just take some time with some of your scraps and play around with them and come up with some new ideas, and let me know what you come up with, and we'll share them on the videos if you like. And I do have an email address. If you go to my channel homepage, there's a little place up in the upper right corner. Has my Facebook and might have my blog. I don't put much on my blog, but videos, but don't put much on my Facebooks either. I have 2 Facebook pages. And it also has my email, I believe. If not, I will make sure I get that put on there. And anyway, so just play. It's a lot of fun to just play and have fun and come up with some new ideas. And so that's all we have time for today. So just make a little piece of paper to go in there so that your little envelope can be used. There you go. Cut that little piece off there, or you could leave it. Where is it? Right there. There we go. And we have a little note in there. And then maybe you'd want to come up with some kind of closure on this. I don't know. You know, there's all kinds of things we could do with it. Okay, well, let me show you what all we have. I'm not going to go through it all again, but I'm just going to bring it up. And we have several of these little tab hangers. Lots and lots of tags. A few pockets. Another cool tab hanger. Lots of envelopes. Another, I love this one. It says play and then it has the seahorse on it. That is so cool. And just lots of goodies. Lots of interesting ideas. Oh, here's one I need to make a tab out of. And then just some edge hangers or little ephemeras that you can add words to or whatever. I'm going to just slip these on here so that I don't lose them. They're so tiny. So just some different ideas. So play, have fun, and create and enjoy. There's just so much to do and so many wonderful ideas. And it's just so much fun. You know, this has been relaxing and, you know, I didn't get through much of my paper, but hey, it was still fun. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. I hope you all have a great day and stay safe, stay well, And I hope your day is beautiful. Bye-bye.